Hey everybody, good morning. Got the chat fixed. I don't know what was up. I had to restart the software last night to get it to clear up. Anyway, Infinity, Larry, David, Everett, John, Nikki. Good morning, Dawn, Valerie, Dex, Goose, my man. Good to see you, Maurizio, Brian, JB, Arturo, TT, Donald, Schwinborn, Philip, Craig, Michael, Kevin, Merle, Francois, Rongemer. Good to see you, my man. Cliff, Terrence, Jan, Jeremy, Ted. Is everybody ready for this Cybertruck launch tomorrow? Uh, Sounds exciting. Anyway, this may be a buy the rumor, sell the news. Be careful if you're long Tesla, I have to say. And if you want to chat with me like these fine folks, let me know your opinions, whatever it is that you want to do. Make sure you click the button over here, right down here. Click it, be a subscriber on the channel, and a few seconds later, you can chat on the live stream with me, just like everybody else that's chatting right now. I'm going to mute my phone, and welcome. Morning. And, I'll tell you what, GDP numbers out, and we seem to be rallying a little bit, eh? Just a little bit. We'll talk about it here in just a minute. Workday, wow, big pop. And hey, Carlene, excuse me. Can't read fast. And hey, as Rongover says, he's got to see a Tesla on the lot here in Knoxville before one of those Cybertrucks on the lot here in Knoxville before it exists, before it's real. So just because Elon's delivering like 20 of them doesn't mean that they're out there in the wild yet. Now, a popular automotive analyst was saying they expect Tesla to produce about 2,000 of them between the production start in November and to the end of December, and try to get them delivered. I don't know. We'll see. If you do the math on my reservation number, I'm about 128,000 down the list from the approximate start number. So we'll see. Probably be 3 years before I get one, would be my guesstimate. Anyway, glad to have everybody. I'm still in the 112s too. They say, I guess the numbers go up to like 120, 130 now. The RN 120, 130. I don't know what the current ones are, but we started at 112 on release day, RN 112. I have a 112.8 number, and yeah, I mean, hey, yeah, gonna be a bit. Yeah, I believe. I mean, like I said, I'm not suggesting it's gonna be like 3 years before I get one. Let's be honest. So, yeah, it doesn't exist till it's here. That's 100% true. So, we'll see what happens. They don't have the best history of launching cars and getting them out there, right? Although the Austin factory is completely switched over to making cells for the Cybertruck cells. So, we'll see. Goose has made quite a bundle off of Tesla this year. So, anyway, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. All right. Don't do this trading thing if you can't absorb losses. I mean, let's be honest, 99% of day traders fail. Day trading's hard. That's lots of decisions, as I was talking about yesterday and the day before. Morning, Anderson, or Andrew USA, excuse me. It's hard. Even swing trading's hard. When you make decisions, you gotta. There's a lot involved in a trading decision. It's not just do you go long, do you go short. I mean, it's like, what do you trade? When do you trade? Where's your line in the sand? Where are you wrong? It's not being wrong that costs you money. It's staying wrong. I mean, it really is. And if you think about it, you can be wrong. You'll be like, oh, I thought it was going up. It went down. I close it out, take a minor loss. But if you stay wrong, you're like, I'm putting it all in there. I'm going to ride it. And, my line in the sand is 0. Well, you can ride it to 0 and then you lose everything. That's staying wrong. So, be careful. That's what I got to say there. And past performance of mine is not necessarily indicative of future results. Just because I got it right before doesn't mean I'm going to get it right again. I mean, we were talking about how I need Walmart and Microsoft and some other ones, Coin yesterday. But you're only as good as your last prediction, right? Just because I've gotten it right in the past doesn't mean I'll get the next one. It's a cold hard truth of this. You're only as good as your last call. You're only as good as your next trade. So this presentation here is intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining, and is not a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instrument. No stocks, no options, no forex, no futures, no bonds, no cryptos. Don't buy them, don't sell them. Don't buy stuff from gurus unless you trust them. All right. Hopefully, me doing this here, I build some trust with you, and you want to support me and my family. I can't do this for free. Unfortunately, I'm not that well off. I wasn't born with a golden spoon or anything like that. So I do appreciate the support. Watch the ads, share with friends, like, subscribe, do all the things that everybody tells you to do on YouTube. Well, that helps this video go out to more people, get more people going involved, and support me and my family. So, if you desire personal financial advice, you got to hire and consult a financial advisor. And jumping into what's happening, crapping today, I got to reload the calendar here really quickly, and scroll up to Wednesday. We had GDP numbers come in, and they came in positive. Imagine that. I thought we'd see that a little bit. I kind of thought we might get a soft one, but they're definitely cooking the books. Got to make that look good, right? So preliminary Q3 GDP coming in at 5.2%. That seems high. That seems high. Daniel, expand the description down below. There's a link, jeffreytrader.com/roundtable. You buy that for $5 and you get in the members area, and there's a link to get right into Discord. So we don't just let everybody in. We let supporters in, and then follow the instructions once you're in there. Specifically, rule number 9. Follow the instructions on rule number 9, and you get permission to see everything. So yeah, it must be the Bidenomics working, right? Yeah, I think that's a bullshit number, but y'all can tell me how you feel in the chat. I don't think GDP is rocking like that. I mean, let's be honest, right? The Black Friday sales, Goose, you were talking about this. The Black Friday sales up 2%, but inflation's up 4% year over year. So do the math on that one, and looks like we came out behind. So yeah. Anyway, I think all the economic numbers are bullshit. They went through and revised. I don't know if y'all saw this. They went through and revised all the new home sales numbers down substantially, like thousands of sales for the entire year. So, yeah. So, hey, whatever. Whatever. Anyway, we have good trade balance. Look at this. Good trade balance. Minus 89 billion. I mean, that's not so good. We're buying, we're buying stuff from other people more than they're buying from us. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, the number's what they want it to be. That's always the case. I mean, that's what they need it to be, or close, or maybe some of the numbers are just ridiculous. Now tomorrow we have PCE coming out. They'll probably bake this number too, but that is Powell's favorite number, favorite read on the consumer, I guess you'd say, and another baked number. Let's be honest. It's likely to be another cooked number, and hey, I mean, expecting a 0.2. This doesn't move by a whole lot. I mean, look, even the peak up here is only 0.7. And this is month over month, so yeah, I'd love to see a 0, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. This one doesn't move a whole lot historically. Usually comes in 0.1, 0.2. That's usually where we have a stable economy going. And remember, all these economic numbers for the economy have squat to do with the actual stock market. There's plenty of people out there that'll tell you they do. It's like, I mean, look, even back here in 2008, 2009, this didn't move. You know, it moved right here. Why is this your favorite number if it doesn't ever move? I don't know. Beats me. But these are economic numbers. The economy is not the stock market. They're related. They're like distant cousins, you know, but they don't move together necessarily. So they're different things. Keep, you know, just make sure you get that mindset shifted. That economic numbers don't drive the economy, and the economy doesn't drive the stock market. All right. Fed Chair Powell speaking on Friday. That may be the biggest market mover of the week, honestly. We'll see what happens. PCE tomorrow before the market opens. Then ISM manufacturing, and then Powell speaking right there on Friday. I put a big red circle, but I don't have a doodad that does that. So right there, Fed Chairman Powell speaking. All right. Yeah. So the economic reads are like hindsight. And it's been well proven that the interest rate raises don't trickle through the economy for 24 months from when they do it till it's, you know, all the way cooked in to the economy. It takes 24 months. So they've been doing the fastest jigaboo in history, and you know, reworking all the numbers and whatever. And we're just now about to get to 24 months from the first one. So what's this thing going to do ultimately? Well, the real market rate showing that we might be in for a cut, actually. You know, historically, every time the blue drops through the orange is the Fed funds rate. It's only a matter of a countdown before we get some kind of freak out in the market. And we got to start cutting rates. I mean, look, right here, this one. This was we crossed in 2006. It was just a matter of time. July 2007. And then we started cutting rates, and then things got really bad. Cutting rates is not good for the stock market. That means some crap's about to go down. All right, we start cutting rates. It's time to start getting out of longs and think about going short, because things are about to get not so good. All right, I'm 100% serious right now. Not even joking a little bit. This has happened at the .com, at the housing, GFC, whatever, you know, great financial crisis. Happened right here at the rates panic in late 18 into 19, and carried through COVID. And now here we are again. Oh, look at that. SPXY hit the target. Imagine that. Dang. You think I did this for a living or something? SPX crossing. Cool. It's right there. DGS2. Right there. So DGS2. And you put Fed funds on there. You can just hit the compare button right here. Type in FED, FUNDS. Puts it all on here. And I'm watching this. This isn't like a watch it every day thing. This is just a keep an eye on it. When things go bad. Oh, BTBT. Go, baby. Got 100 calls on that one at 250. That's going to be pretty good. There you go. Any questions on that one? You can let me know. And Richard, we do the request show on Tuesday nights at 5 p.m. So I'll talk about what's moving today. Not necessarily take requests. So, alrighty. Looking at S&P. Probably going to, it looks like we're going to make a higher high here before we roll over. And validate that immediate bullish or bearish setup. Impulsive potential. Getting really close to poking above the July high. Really, really close. That's the simplified chart. We are like 70% likely that we're going to 47.18. Now, this move up, that right there is pretty wicked so far. I mean, Look at this. Right there. 11%. Straight up off that October 27th low in a month. This is the lowest VIX level that we've ever had, ever in the history of VIX, where we did a 10+% move straight up. The lowest VIX. Think about that. That I'm seeing headlines that VIX is broken, VIX is done, and blah blah blah. I mean, it's ridiculous. Volatility is going to come back. Like, this is not the end of volatility. I'll guarantee you. I guarantee you that we're not at the end of volatility. Lowest level we've ever had on VIX when we did that 10% pop. That's pretty amazing. Shows some wacky stuff is going on, and better be careful. All right, better be careful. That's what SVXY just hitting the target. That was the conservative target. I already booked my profit. I mean, was it close to 18 grand on that? Forgot to close one of the positions in one of my accounts. Trading like 15 accounts, so occasionally I forget one. Cuts both ways though. Sometimes I come out to the good. Sometimes I'm like, oh mother Hubbard. So 98 right there. That was the target. We got there. That was the chart of the week. What? How many weeks back? Anybody remember? Anybody? Where did Discord go? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. There's Discord. Let's pop back in the chart of the week and see where SVXY was. Let's see. TQQ. Right there it was. SVXY was on October 31st. Chart of the week. I put it on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter. Right there. Here it was. Right there. Look. Beautiful trade. I mean, I know I'm only as good as my next trade. So aggressive entry at 84, got out at 98. I actually got out just above 94. I was super conservative, and beautiful. Could go to 103. That's an aggressive target. And as we've seen many times, when they get to the 1272, watch out for a pullback. So that was a beautiful trade right there. I did go pretty heavy on that one. Made a nice chunk of money. So hopefully other people got it. If not, just wait for the next one. Don't FOMO. All right. Don't fear missing out. There's always this market is a waterfall of opportunity every single day. Some days better than others. It's just like the waterfall can quit waterfalling some days. So that was a beautiful trade. We'll get another one. This one has a very repeatable pattern. Every time we pull back 15 to 20% since COVID right here, every time 15 to 20%, we tend to rally right back up where we were within 30 to 45 days. So once you see that pullback, 15 to 20% on SVXY, it's game on. Yeah, Goose made 400% on that trade, so that was pretty sweet. Good job, my man. Good job. I know other people got it too. That was a beautiful, beautiful trade. All right. S5FI, still hovering near the top. Are we going to pop it to 80? Probably. Getting really close. Sign up for free. We're seeing, let's see. Let's refresh this one, see what it got. See what we got here. Yeah, 75.94. That's probably going to pop 80. So S5FI is kind of my oscillator for the entire market. When we're at the top, we're likely to head back down to the bottom. When we're at the bottom, 20 and 80 are my lines. That's the oscillator. It's like the simplest oscillator ever. Who needs RSI? Who needs MACD? I mean, you're at the bottom, down below 20, go long. We get up above the top, above 80, close it out. Start looking for shorts if that's your game. Strategic shorts. All right, doesn't mean we're going to drop out necessarily, but we're likely to head back to the bottom after we've been at the top. It just happens over and over and over and over. ES probably going to make that higher high. Once we do that, once we make a higher high than July, we invalidate an impulsive setup for now. That would be a setup for a lower low than what we saw October a year ago, October 22. Then we're just set up for a corrective and probably going to push to a new all-time high before we roll over. So that's new all-time high, then higher than what we saw in January 22, almost 2 years ago. NQ is well above. And that one already invalidated the lower, and we may just push right on out to 16.5 on NQ. That'd be a huge move up. Russell, interesting here. Russell chugging along here. This was an interesting move up. We got overlap with that high. That while that can happen in the futures, let's look at the IWM. We did it right there too. So generally, this is not a 5-wave up type situation, even if we make a higher high, or it's really sloppy. I mean, that'd be more, I don't know. It's not awesome right now. Let's put it that way. This is not an awesome, clean, high probability pattern. Definitely giving odds more of a drop than a pop, but we'll see. See what happens here. See what shakes out. Oil. Yeah, keep going. Keep going. I want to see it get up through this orange zone, up through the roadmap line. You want the roadmap line? Links in the description. It's jeffreytrader.com/roundtable. It's like $5 for 3 months, or you get the option to buy it for a whole year for $20. You get the indicator forever, regardless. And right there. Potentially bullish. Don't want to see it reject that, though. I want to see it get a continuation right up in this zone. Then it's game on for going higher. This was my chart of the week last week? 2 weeks ago? Last week? Hold on. 2 weeks ago. Week before Thanksgiving, I believe it was. Let's roll down. Double check. Double check. Discount. Double check. Yeah, that was 11/13. So 2 weeks ago. That week before Thanksgiving. And my pick for how to play, how do you play oil? UCO. This is my favorite way. And there you can see my notes. So we have not, we're at the super aggressive entry. The aggressive entry is filling this gap right here, up at 32, and then the target's on up through there. So this one hasn't even started moving yet. I do tend to be a little early on trades. That gives people plenty of time to take advantage of it before we get going. So I try to identify them early. That way people get a chance to actually do it instead of like, oh, you know what? I got in like $20 ago and I'm sorry that you didn't get the awesome entry. I mean, how many times you heard somebody say that? That's complete bullshit too. So I usually try to find stuff, gives you plenty of time to get into it before it starts ripping. I mean, another one that I was talking about quite a bit back in June. I mean, look how much time this gave you. It gave you from all of June, all of July, all of August, all of September, all of October. Some people were doubting it. That's the lowest low. Now look at her. This one, I'm up about 300% already, looking for some much loftier targets. You can, I've constantly said, you can talk crap about it all you want. You think they're going out of business, but they're not. That was a bullish pullback. We're probably going to get continuation at least up to the 80, if not on up higher to 90, possibly 100. Is it going to happen today? No. Is it going to happen tomorrow? No. Is it maybe sometime out here, middle of next year? Yeah. Looks pretty bullish. Another beautiful potential setup right there. GC, look at that. Hit that 1618 this morning. That's a monster. Being a monster. I want to see this break on out, get above this resistance, although I do kind of expect that we're going to see a pullback here. That it didn't do the pullback at all. It just ramped right up to the 1618. Beautiful. I mean, what more do you want there? That was, it's likely to pull back at this point. Highly likely to pull back. If you got some long on GC, either through GLD or GOLD or whatever it is, however you're playing it, consider protecting some of that. We very well could see another pullback, at least to retest this zone right here. Right in there. That was the high. The high popped right on through. We may come back and retest it. We don't have to. We could just break on out. Could just be heading on up to 2150, possibly 2250. Maybe even much higher levels than that. Right now, that's the targets, 2150, 2250, based on the big pullback that we did. I mean, this one had a long time to get in too. Even made a lower low, which was like, oh, but then set up loftier targets. So another good one right there. Bitcoin, another great call. I've been harping on this one for a long time, and it's still got a long way to go. Probably going 6 figures for the end of this move, and it's probably going to take another couple years. Probably looking for this to run into late 25, early 26 before we go into the next crypto winter and pull back 70%. So still incredibly early, and for the short term, we'll probably get a pop on the spot ETF approvals. Those approvals could happen in December. ARK has a final deadline of January 10th. That means the SEC has to make their final decision on approval or denial of ARK's application by January 10th. That's like a line in the sand. Something is going to happen by January 10th. Something big. So put it on the right there. Something big's going to happen. Now, the other big event coming up out here on Bitcoin. This one's a little bit flexible. It's based on the halving. We have 20,995 blocks left to go. About 142-ish days, 141, 142 days before the halving event. This is where the payout for mining a block of Bitcoin gets cut in half from the current pay rate. It immediately cut in half. That's cutting supply, hitting the market in half. And we've only got like 2 million Bitcoins left to go before we're mined out. But due to the halving, that's going to take about 150 years to get there. So we should be so lucky as to ever see that actually come to fruition. So those of you worried about what happens when the last block of Bitcoin gets mined, it's not likely to happen during our lifetimes. So just letting you know, it's going to be a while. I mean, maybe we're around for it. I'd love to see it. Love to be here. I'd love to be here 300 or 400 more years. Others can tell me how bad of an idea that is, but I'd love to see it, man. I'd love to be here, watch all the technology, all the crazy innovations. There's so much that's changed just in my lifetime. Oh, wrong button. Missed the. So, Bitcoin likely to run. We may see a pullback after that. This approval. Does it happen here? Does it happen? So it's let's be honest about it. It could happen before that event. That event is a hard deadline. Like SEC has a legal requirement to approve or deny ARK's application by January 10th. They can approve it before then. They can deny it before then. I think they're unlikely to deny it because of the Grayscale lawsuit. I think they're highly likely, and the fact that DTCC has already listed these ETFs, these spot ETFs. I think we're likely to see somewhere between now and January 10th, a whole slew of these applications get approved all at once. That will we'll probably see a pop, and then likely see a drop. So we come out here 142 days, right out here, right there. That is the halving event. Remove some of these fib lines. Don't want everybody to get confused here. Let's just clean it up just a little bit. We may see this pop and drop right back into this 30,000 area. Then go on the other run that I was talking about, up into the 6 figures. All right. So there you go. That's kind of thinking we may pop into the ETF approval, then see a pullback. That pullback may be that deep. It could hold a higher level. It could extend through the halving. Like we could see maybe like, but I thought halving was bullish. Well, let's go over to this chart real quick, the clean chart. Let's go up to a weekly chart. Jump back down here in my time machine. This halving event right here. Had one in 2016. We kind of did that pop and then drop. You know, we pop, drop, pop, and drop, pop, and pull back. That halving event was right in here. We actually pulled back out of it. We ran into it and pulled back. Sat sideways and then popped. Popped big, you know. And back here. Similar stuff, so. We can see a run into the, you know, it could run into the halving and then pull back. I think we're due a pullback before we get the ultimate bigger move higher. Now this thing, every time so far, when we get the post halving low, like right here in 2018, and we see we kind of popped, and then we dropped into the halving, then we popped again. That was the last one. The halving was right here in May 2020. Grab my tool. May, right in there. We popped, we dropped into the halving, and then we ran. We tend to get a high that's 10 to 20x, whatever this low is. So the low end of the run, expect 10x. The high end of the run, expect 20x. So right there was the low, right around 3,000. We got about 20x, 67. This low right here, 15. If we get a 20x, talking 300,000. We get a 10x, that's 156,000. So there you go. That's just looking at the pattern. I mean, that's, so there's Bitcoin. Ethereum pushing through, trying to push back through this resistance. Found significant resistance at this prior high. If on the next push through, it should get to this 2,300. If it rejects, makes a lower high, probably going to go deeper back to the roadmap line, potentially back to this breakout point. Keep an eye on that one. Dollar has come down to retest that trend line. If it can find support here, turn up, going back up, that's bullish, just like the S&P did. Back here, same pattern. Back here, broke through, retested, and ran. So this is a key point for the dollar. If we can hold, well, let's go back to the other chart. If we can hold this and turn higher, break back above the roadmap line, dollar's probably going higher for a while. If we break down below this area, right here around 102, probably coming down here to the mid 90s. Hey, Arthur. Good morning. Here you go. All right, what's moving today? Workday. Look at that pop. Beautiful. Right up to the, almost to the target, 265. All right, delete that one. 265 possibly could get a run up to 283. So. ASML about to signal the bullish move. Holding. It's been holding the 618 retrace right there. Been holding it for days. If we can break through, that tips the odds to going up to 829. If we break down below that gap up right there from back in early November on the 10th, if we break down below that, probably coming down here around 520. Yes, that's a huge range. You might even want to ride some puts on that one if we break down below that 650 area. In fact, I'm going to put an alert there. Put me an alert right there around 650. If we do that, game on. We get above 700, 710, let's say. Probably good for 800. Into it. Yeah, right up to, did the bullish market roadmap bounce. Look at that, beautiful. Up past the 1272, 1618, just above it, 608. Then we may do another retrace. That one wasn't on, like, I didn't trade that one at all. Beautiful. In tap. Same pattern. That went way up in the extensions. Could it go higher? Sure. I got more fibs up there. Is it likely? Now we're likely to do a retrace after that pop, but you know, it can climb the fib ladders. 97, 101, possibly 117. This is less than 1% of the time we'll hit that before, I mean, without getting a big retrace. So 1% of moves or less probably will pop right up to that 686 level before they get a sizable pullback to the roadmap line. CRWD, another popper. Beautiful pop. Right up into the resistance. If we can get above that prior high, above that 618, we're likely to head up to 355 on CRWD. I'm actually going to put alert right up here above that high. That's going to get me interested in that one. Breaking above. VVOS. Nice. Popping up into the resistance. This is a medtech, biotech. Be careful. I don't like those. And look at that reverse split in there. That's bearish. I wouldn't mess with this one. I mean, that's a nice pop, but let's zoom out a little bit. That's a dumpster fire of a chart. We've popped above before and continued down to the abyss. I don't think all of a sudden it's going to be all fixed and rosy. They lose a ton of money on not much revenue. Looks like a pile of dumpster fire to me. So be careful out there. Be careful. SMCI still not bullish. Making the mover list going higher. If we can get above that high, maybe we can go bullish. Maybe 390. Still lower highs though. Be careful. That can just drop out. It's not participating quite like the rest of the NASDAQ. PSX. Oh, nice pop. Nice pop. Let's clear up the roadmap line bounce. Target 128, possibly 134. NVIDIA. Getting a little reprieve from the earnings drop here. Holding that prior high so far. That can lead us to push on out to 532. I mean, that could have been all the pullback it needed. Watch for that resistance at that prior high area. If you go long, there's lots of hype, but I'm kind of giving odds to going lower before we go higher. FNGU. It's on the path to 255 sooner or later. More than likely. I mean, it's like 70% likely. Snow. Hey, finally doing something more bullish here. Finally. I've been waiting for that move up above that high. If we can hold on to this today and tomorrow, probably going to move up to 207. That's been kind of gnarly. This was kind of gnarly. It didn't really have a solid conclusion to this correction, so I'm still very cautious that we get a turn down and drop out of here. And we're still at that kind of resistance over there. Be careful. All right. Call the team. We have an application floating around. I don't have the link for that. Let's see. Do I have the phone number? No. Beautiful. It's like 321-888. Crap. Can't remember. Hold on. See if I got it anywhere. I know. Search Discord. Nothing. Beautiful. Love it. Hold on. I got it in a conversation here. Let's see. 321-888-3962. That's the number. If you want to get information to 321-888. I forgot the last of it. Oh, come on, JT. Too many numbers in my head today. 3962. All right, I'll type it in the chat here. 3962. Did I say that right? 3962. Triple checking because somebody dialed the wrong number and got a scam. So I wanted to make sure. 321-888-3962. All right. Snow, yeah. Tesla, be careful. We're right up to that downtrend of the highs. We have the Cybertruck event tomorrow. This may be buy the rumor. That's that pop. Sell the news. How many times have you heard that? Buy the rumor. Oh, Elon was talking. Watch out. But there's been lots of hype. Probably likely to see a lot more hype tomorrow. There's a lot of seeing a lot of rumors that YouTubers and stuff are going to release a lot of videos tomorrow. Other social media influencers. So you may see a lot of videos and stuff hyping the Cybertruck. But all that rumor could lead to a lower low than we've seen for months here. All that hypium. Be careful. Could we break out and go higher? Sure, we could. Am I feeling it right at the moment? Very cautious. Very cautious. This feels a lot like a buy the rumor, sell the news type of deal. Be careful. I'm not long or short Tesla. I'm just kind of out of the way on that one right now. Oh, I do have TSLY. I have like 3 shares. 3 shares of this crazy beast. It's a Tesla option income strategy. You just hold the shares and they pay you like ridiculous dividends. It is a volatile mother trucker. But there's something 83-cent dividend, dollar dividend on like a $13 stock. I mean, you want to take $11, $12 and light it on fire, buy some of this. Buy a share and watch it. Watch it burn. 72% dividend yield. Is that ridiculous? Heck yeah, it is. It's stupid. So, 72%. Yeah. Like, hey, treasuries or TSLY. How much? I like money. I mean, yeah, this could be like lighting your money on fire, and it could work out. So another one I have a couple shares of QQQY, another genius. But look at this one. Look at that thing. What the what? Look at that go. That's a Defiance Nasdaq 100 Enhanced Options Income Strategy ETF. That one pays 68%, and look at that thing run. Is it likely to pull back after it did that? Yeah. I mean, that was a corrective move. So we look at all the same chart patterns. We don't have a roadmap line because this is brand new. So watch out for 1866, and we may pull back from there. It's worth, I think, hey, you got 20 bucks. You want to light it on fire and see what happens. I mean, they paid $1 in November. Paid $1.10 in October. So we'll see what happens in December here. That's not too bad on a monthly dividend of $1 on 18 bucks. I mean, it doesn't take long to get all your money back. JT's got a couple shares just to find out what happens. Foot Locker potentially turning the bottom here. Potentially. It went right down to the 1272 like I expected. Now we've got to fill these gaps. We've got to do a lot of stuff to get this one bullish again. Large upside resistance right there. And it is a long way down from these highs. And it has not been an awesome performer for a long time here. So I don't see a ton of opportunity in Foot Locker. I mean, you could make a gamble play on it, but hey, you might as well go to QQQY. I mean, get the dividend and if you want to light your money on fire. BMEA, 121 people watching. If I've said anything you find valuable, please give me a thumbs up or interact with the video. Give me some hearts, give me some whatever it is. Chat. Love to have feedback on what you think so far. Biome, pharmaceutical, medtech. Be careful, biotechs. Don't always follow the pattern. That's bearish right there. GM. Beautiful pop. Look at that, baby. Look at that. I guess getting back to production. Popping up to the roadmap line is still bearish. We're underneath there. And watch out. We could be near the top here. We consolidated for quite a while right there. We're getting right up into the bottom of it. That can turn down again. Be careful. I think we're just a few days away from hearing how bad vehicle sales were in November. Be careful, everybody. The car industry may not be so rosy. Look at that, popping right up. STLA. Glad I didn't short that one yet. I'm considering shorting that one as we get up into, we look at the weekly roadmap line right here. This pullback, this pop. If we can get up in this 23.95 area, I may actually put an alert up here at 23. I may actually short this one into the new year, maybe out to 2025. If we get up in that zone, highly likely to pull back from up there. QCOM. Popping out of the little wedge thing. That one can rapidly appreciate back up into this zone up here around 180. Got a little gravel in my throat. I'm sorry. I will be live at 11 o'clock on Zoom to talk about Greenlight Income Alerts, where I've nailed 72 wins in a row. I don't have a link for that at this moment. SMH, looks like we're going to get an extension out to 67, possibly 76. And the bigger pullback on that weekly could take us even higher. So that daily move, 167, 176, almost to the 167 target. DPST, still under the roadmap line, still not making higher highs, still looking quite bearish. Be careful. This is leverage stuff. Doesn't always follow my patterns. DPSD. Nail. That one's that one's a 3x bull, also leveraged. Be careful. But it's getting right to the point where if we break through this resistance, we could see an extension out to 99, possibly 115. And delete that. There you go. Not too bad. Not too shabby. Crux. Trying to do something bullish after getting beat down like crazy. Went down to the target there. This could be the reversal point that we've been waiting for on Crux. Trying to break the line. Keep an eye on that one. Do have resistance up here. We do have a gap that is going to be another resistance layer right there. Multiple resistances. You know, that was a rejection. That was a gap down. So we've got multiple layers of resistance to go higher in Crux. But that ain't anything. We could just start trucking right on through. We get above that gap fill and then start moving up through 130. Starting to look positive for going on up to 170, possibly almost 200. GME. Hey, nice pop on a dumpster fire of a move. I mean, that one's been nothing but down for a long time. The hype back here in 21, made a movie about it, and it's never been able to get out of this. Reminds me a lot of Tilray. Tilray did the pop, and then it bled off for years. You don't know what I'm talking about. TLRY. We were on the weed hype. Look at this baby. Did the hype. Been nothing but decline. There's been some big pops in here, but compared to the hype train at almost 300, hanging out at $1.84 seems like disappointing. That's less like 99.9% of its peak. Can they go to zero? You bet you can. This one can go out of business. And JBL, and GME can go. Like AMC, another one. I mean, it didn't pop to the extent of GME, but ouch. That one had a reverse split in there too. Be careful. 1 for 10. Ouch. That was going in the toilet. JBL, 3-wave corrective, right back down to the roadmap line. Probably going to come down and touch there. Watch out for support right there if we can get it. If we don't, it can go even deeper. I want to watch it bounce off of that. Not interested in trying to buy this for now. UNH, probably on a path to go higher. Another, that looks like an echo. May go just a little deeper. Targets are still way up here for UNH. BIVI. Oh. Biotech. I warn about these things. Biotechs are dangerous. They can just do crap like that. That's $1.80. That's not far from needing a reverse split or going bust. DLTR. Still churning, trying to find the bottom. Got to get above this gap down resistance zone. Then it's got to get above the roadmap line. Then it's got another gap up here. It's got a lot of stuff to work through. Could it turn bullish? It could, but it looks pretty bad so far. And that doesn't look like it's necessarily found the bottom yet. So, could it? Sure, but it could go lower. Be careful. LVS. Las Vegas Sands. I guess people aren't gambling as much lately, maybe. One of the members out in Vegas having a good time over Thanksgiving, I think. Not me. I've never been to Vegas, so that looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably gonna get a fifth lower low. Baba still continuing to be bearish. We may see it return to the lows from where Berkshire Hathaway took their stake. YINN, still looking kind of bearish. BERV, looking like a dumpster fire. Probably going lower low. Bounced off the roadmap line. Made a lower low that popped up. Probably going to get the extension. 585, 550, 560 area. DG also making the list. Still bearish. That sucker fell from grace. Holy moly. Went from almost right around 260 all the way down to 100. Now bouncing back up. $30. I mean, that's 30% up off the lows, but resistance right up here at like 150. That gap fill, and we may see one more move down. C-Web, that both DG and DLTR don't feel like that's the last of the move down. That it just, based on my experience, maybe I'm wrong. I'd love to be wrong. And China Bull leverage, be careful. That one also looks like complete garbage going down sideways. So, all right, bias for the day. Bias for the day. Looks like we may poke out, make a higher high before we can get the rollover. This thing is definitely extended. We can stay extended. We can just keep grinding higher, as I've said all week. We can just keep grinding. Be careful out there. The money you save, the account you save, maybe your own. And crypto, not really making the mover list today. If you got questions other than this, you can hit me up in Discord. I'll be there all day. I do have the sales webinar at 11 to talk about green light income alerts, and I'll see you later. Make sure you subscribe. I'll be live again 9:15 tomorrow morning.